I got the video started here. So, what I wanted to talk about, or what I was going to say, was you talking about them guiding them through the ayahuasca ceremonies and stuff. Me, I don't know what it is, dude. I think you feel that? You feel the change?
Yeah.
The damn video.
Yeah.
I feel it. See us? I don't know. It's hard to get over that. I'm trying to learn how to get over that so I can just like flow smoothly into a video without it having any change on me at all. But everything I've done has been by myself. So taking LSD and all that stuff has been by myself. I had a guy that I talked to about all that stuff. He's kind of been through the spiritual process and a lot of this shit too. And he was wanting to come over to my place and do acid with me and stuff. And some reason I could just feel, I was like he was all about it, but I was like, I don't know, I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know what it is. It's like something with me and my purpose in life, I guess. I don't know if I'm meant to do that stuff with other people. I'm kind of like a lone wolf here. You know, do all my work by myself and everything around the house. So, on my property, working on my driveway with hand tools and shit like that. LSD come to me when I was by myself. That was in Revelations where it says, I'll send to you a hidden manna.
Yeah.
And the trials and tribulations, it says, once you complete one of them, it says, I'll send to you a hidden manna. There's a lot of shit with timber that was in there. It talks about how it says, I know that you've fallen away from your first love. And it talks about something about having a false prophetess. So back whenever I was connected to God, and I literally said that I felt like a prophet, Timber used to take all my stuff and she would type it up and save it and shit. I actually asked her one day, I was like, you want to save this stuff up for me? She's like, I already am. And she was posting stuff for me. She was basically repeating everything I said, like she believed in me, like I was God. And I didn't really like that part of it. But that's what it was, dude. All that stuff come to me after she left me. My heart got ripped open and shit. And then God led me back into the Bible, into Revelations. That's when I learned about all that stuff. There was a false prophetess. There was a squirrel. The spirit of Jezebel. Are you familiar with it?
No.
It's a sexual spirit that tempts you off, leads you into fornication and stuff. So I was supposed to go be with God in the woods.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting let off. I went and saw Timber not the first night, but the second day. I went and saw her and asked her to marry me and had sex with her. So that was the spirit of Jezebel leading me off there, and I saw lots of signs afterwards. I recognized that spirit. I got online and done research on it, and how there's literally a description from a Christian website that described the spirit and how it acted, and that's exactly like I saw all that stuff in my life.
Okay, you ever looked into like Easter?
No, but that's funny because Jeannie just told me to look into something about Easter as well, I think.
I believe it's really Esther, but okay, so you got Christmas and you got Easter, Esther, whatever. But I believe back then they would, on Easter, it'd be a massive orgy. Like they would all come to a massive orgy, and then they would sacrifice them children, you know, because they'd be born around that time, Christmas. Yeah. They'd sacrifice them then to I believe it was the God of Baal, Baal, I believe.
See, that's something else that came to me recently too, was the God Baal. Yes, he was the one I'm pretty sure they sacrificed.
Yeah.
Florian said that he had that God come to him when he was meditating.
Wonder why. That's weird.
Well, to me, I don't know, just me looking at Florian and his life, I can almost see how he has sacrificed his kids into working. He is a very plain, ordinary man. His kids, they indulge in work. Like, that is their pleasure. They don't really enjoy worldly pleasures, I guess. They're very, very, very godly people. So to me, that's kind of, I don't know, that's the only symbolic thing I could see with that. I don't know, though. That's a good question. It's come to me twice now. There's a lot of things that have been coming to me twice.
What made me look into it was a clothing line, but they would have kids and like the backdrops, like the little, like, you know, they're in a classroom, but like the caution tape that was in the back it was spelled inside a caution. It was Baal, B-A-A-L, and like in the backdrop, and it was like a photo shoot for kids, but it was like That's weird. And like, I looked into it and it was like, that's. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences at all. There's no such thing.
So I don't know. Maybe sacrificing kids. That's happening a lot these days.
I was looking the other day. I got curious because like stupid Epstein stuff. Like I got curious. It's like, just where do they go? And
wait, where's what go?
Just like all these missing kids. Like they don't find remains hardly.
Oh, okay.
And I was looking at like the numbers. Actually, there's like 300-some thousand missing reported. Like I think it was last year, and it was like that is so many children missing.
Yeah.
And just
see, that's one of them fucking evils that the media just conveniently doesn't pay no attention to that shit. How the fuck is that? Yeah. Like we're worried about goddamn dumb political bullshit, what's going on in other countries, but we're not even worried about our kids. So that's what I say, we're spiritually, man, and physically, I guess, there too. Sacrificing our kids. They're kind of getting destroyed, dude.
Yeah.
Because all the shit that's going on in the country.
Most kids worship celebrities. I mean, just stuff that does not matter.
We have spiritually, so you think about your parents and stuff, what goes on these days, they send their kids off to public schools or to other people. Let other people basically raise their kids so that they can enjoy.
And then they got
the things they want to enjoy.
The most occupying thing in their hands, cell phone.
Yep.
And then you got a battle.
They're sacrifice. See, maybe the God of Baal is like the cell phone. They're like, hey, he's fucking sacrificing.
You got to fight for their attention.
Yep. Well, they do that. Yeah. They give them a phone so that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do.
That makes
that makes perfect sense.
It makes me so mad when, I mean.
So,
and you gotta think this,
and that's what I think kind of what we're doing here. We're actually going, I think you have to work through all the old gods in order to, I think that's part of becoming your own God and connecting to the God, is developing an understanding and connection to all the old past gods as well. You know, because they shaped life and shaped us to who we are right now.
Like, that's a fact.
Like the lineage that we was talking about earlier, how it all gets passed down in your genes.
Yeah.
So all of that, Christ, when he says he's wholesome, from the time he was 12 until he was, 28, we didn't even know what the hell he was doing. There's lots of different rumors and beliefs out there. One that I've heard is that he went and studied with teachers. The teachers of the law, actually, is what I think. I think it says in the Bible he went to be with teachers of the law, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At 12 years old. And so he studied. What were the teachers of the law back then? You know, from what I've heard, is kind of like, I don't want to say monks, but in that type of thing, like, you know, where they have a temple and stuff. And
I talked to a guy, and
I think it's getting to know all the gods and everything inside yourself and putting them all together.
Yeah, I can believe that. Why do you? Okay, so Christ getting crucified. I've read that he got crucified because he didn't like the way the church was going. Also, like they were going more towards money. Give me, we need money. Like,
I think you're. I mean, he changed the whole course of history, and that was, I think, the purpose of it. Yeah.
And he was like, did not like that fact. He did not like the fact that they were, give me money, and he like threw a massive fit about it, and they ended up. That's why they crucified him, because he was like, that is not.
He went,
that is not church. He's like,
I can see that.
And they're like, that's actually, like, he had to be crucified anyway.
The church was, to me, like the government nowadays.
Yes.
They was the authority of the land, and they had become corrupted and evil.
Yeah. And
he saw through all the bullshit and come in to change the course of action.
Yes.
To completely overthrow it.
And, what blows my mind? You know how many times the Bible says the word Christian in it?
Never.
It only says it 3 times.
Does it say Christian?
And I think it says it twice in Peter. I think it says followers of Christ.
Yeah, it says the followers of Christ will be known as Christians or something.
And it says it only 3 times. And I think 2 of the times is in Peter. Which is, I mean...
Well, let me tell you what Revelation says. It says the followers of Christ will be as far as the eye can see. This is in the trials and tribulations. But it says... I forget exactly how it's worded. It talks about followers, but then it talks about leaders. The 10,000, what are they called? Warriors for God?
Yeah.
The 10,000 leaders is what they are. They're leaders. That's what I say. I think that's what I consider myself. I consider myself one of the 10,000 leaders because of all that I've been through. I understand Revelations. And I understand all that stuff. And I'm not a follower of Christ. I'm a brother of Christ. He ain't, I mean, as far as I can tell. Why should I place him above him? I don't I don't know. Or above me.
I don't think he wouldn't place himself above you.
I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that's what he meant to do.
No. That's why he hung out with drunks,
choose to be followers because they don't want to take on the full responsibility of being a leader. That's how most people are.
Yeah.
They don't want it. It's a lot of damn responsibility, a lot of sacrifice. Some people are leaders.
Yeah, it's like Wesley in the Marine Corps. I mean, he got promoted to sergeant infantry, and he was like, dude, I hate it. He's like, I hate it. He's like, it's so much responsibility. He's like, I miss
and you're
being a corporal.
A bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a dad. And if they go get a car with a stupid interest rate, I have to act like I care. He's like,
but he should care. If you're gonna be a leader, you have to deal with that dumb shit. Yep. It's tough, dude. That's what I say. I struggle my ass off, man. And it's more of my energy, because I feel so much energy. I lead people in ways that they don't even fucking realize, dude. So when I connect with somebody else who's ignorant or something, or they need help, they're kind of need pulled up to where they're suffering or something inside. Kind of like the drug opens you up. I have the ability to do that with certain people. But they aren't really aware of it. So what I've learned is you got to be very careful with it, because if I do something that causes pain for somebody else, I'll feel that fucking pain. I'll feel whatever pain they're dealing with. I've recognized this with my grandpa. Like I went in and cleaned out a little section of his house. So 2 years ago when I connected to God, when Timber first moved in with me, we went into his house and cleaned a bunch of shit out and painted the kitchen, which is what he wanted done.
Yeah. But
we'd done a thorough cleaning, and afterwards he got very, very bad sick. We had to take care of that whole year. I don't know if you remember or not. He was pretty bad off that year. That was when COVID and everything first come out. He got COVID. He got the damn vaccine. That's what I think destroyed his immune system. His gout was bad all year, and he had his kidneys got real bad. Well, I went in just the other day. We finally got his health. Took a long time, but we were getting his health back up and stuff taken care of. Went in another day and cleaned out another cabinet that we didn't clean before, and I think it had like effects on him. We stopped. I took him to an appointment here yesterday, 2 days ago. Yesterday. And he stopped at the liquor store. He got him 2 jugs of liquor, which I've stopped with him before, and he just gets a jug. But he told me, see, I noticed, like you say, everything matters.
Yeah.
He said, I want to stop in here and give me some medicine. So he was, cleaning that stuff out from where Nanny lived with him. They was together all their life. That has effects on him and kind of puts him into it cleans evil out of him, but when it comes out, you feel it. Kind of puts you in a negative mood or something. It hurts. It's pain. It's suffering. I feel this all the time.
You could die from a heartbreak. That's a fact.
Oh, God, yeah.
Johnny Cash did.
I did, huh?
Johnny Cash did.
Like physically?
My opinion. That's why I think he died.
I spiritually died from it. I didn't physically die, but yeah, Gene Beard. See, me and Gene were really close and connected.
Yeah.
And I used to blame myself for it, but I don't think it was my fault. I think it was just kind of the way things happened there. Things were we were in sync with each other, we were in harmony, but I went through heartache and everything, and I took LSD, which blew my fucking mind open and everything. Well, Gene had, shortly after, a heart attack.
Yeah.
And a brain aneurysm is what got him. So me and him were like directly connected there on that energy.
Yeah.
So I used to blame myself. I don't really blame myself anymore. I don't know how to feel about it. Even if it was me and what happened to me, I didn't do it. I was ignorant. I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did.
It was just an innocent thing that would have happened. And I think all that kind of plays out the way it's supposed to in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's just, but I know shit like that all the time. So I have to be careful when I see somebody who's struggling or suffering. I have to just kind of do just a little bit at a time. Whatever, for one, it has to be whatever I can handle. Because I swear, when I cause somebody else pain, I think I feel it more than they do. I really do. You ever heard the old saying, the parents, they're like, they tell their kids, this hurts me more than it does you?
Yep.
I believe that shit, dude. That's how I feel. And so I don't know. I had to learn to, when I connected to God, I come out and I told everybody the truth. I was fucking ignorant. I swear, I think Christ was completely fucking ignorant to what he was doing. He was innocent. He was just like a little baby, completely innocent.
Yeah, it says all babies are innocent.
I don't think he realized exactly what he was doing and what he was getting himself into. He died for our sins. And then once he died, I think he didn't feel physical pain. He didn't really feel pain while he was here on this earth because he was connected to God. That's why it says on the cross, he didn't cry out, really, through all that beating and everything that happened to him. He didn't cry out until the Spirit of God left him. Says, Father, why hast thou forsaken me, when he was on the cross. So I think that was his disconnection from God. And that is when he entered into hell and all the pain and everything that the truth that he spoke to everybody else, it hurt everybody else because it tore apart their belief systems. It caused them a lot of mental anguish and discord and stuff in life. I think all that shit come back in on him. Just like it did me. I'm sure it did, because it did to me. I don't know, man. It's wild.
This is just so much.
It is, isn't it? It's a lot.
I got this book the other day. It's Daily Strength for Men.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like I want to say study Bible, but it's not a whole Bible. And usually, like, you focus on one passage every day. Well, this one, it gives you a passage and it breaks it down to 2 days. So you spend 2 days on this one passage instead of passage per day.
Yeah.
And like it brings, like, one part I was reading, it has like Santa Claus in on it, which is it's crazy. And it's just, you have to read it. It's probably one of the better books I've read. It's Daily Strength for Men. I'll give it to you.
This here, it doesn't slid over here on me. That there's a really good book. It's a knowledge book about trees and stuff, but it's got a lot of spirituality in it. It talks about how they communicate and the inner workings of the forest and everything. It talks about mushrooms. See, they have Christ with a picture of mushrooms in it. The church has the painting of Christ and mushrooms. That talks about how mushrooms carry messages amongst the trees and basically connects the entire forest. The webbing or the root system or whatever, I forget what it's called. But in me, that's what I've learned. I took LSD and what LSD and what mushrooms and stuff, the effects they have on you, where they connect your energy.
Yeah.
That's literally part of my purpose in life. I do that with people. Simply by me going, I went and talked to Florian. Your dad and Florian are opposites. Like complete opposites. Florian's all about the government, pays his taxes and everything. He's a very mental guy. He observes and manages. Your dad is very heartfelt, or he's passionate and everything. He's Republican. He's fuck taxes. And so they're complete opposites. But life has brought me and them together at the same time again. So I've done some work with Florian not too long ago, and I got a chance to talk to him. Then I went and talked to your dad at the store the other day. And then I went back and talked to Florian, and I could feel your dad's energy. Like the discord that your dad has with Florian, he doesn't like that stuff. That stuff come out of me toward Florian a little bit.
Yeah.
And here's what was going on with Florian's dude. He had had 2 cats out there, and they're both neutered, male cats.
Yeah.
But he said they've been fighting recently. And me and Florian was there kind of spiritually having a battle. And those cats got in a fight while we was there. And I don't know if he's aware of it or not. Florian knows all about energy in a physical, in a worldly sense. Like he has it on his phone, like how the energy, the weather and stuff, the energy patterns work in the world. But I don't think he has the internal understanding of it like I do. And that's because he's new. He come in here from this land from the outside. He's kind of seeing the outside perspective. Me, I've been here. My family's been here. I'm able to see with an internal perspective. I think that's how me and him are opposites.
You can see both sides, though.
Yeah, I'm getting where I'm learning to see, both sides, because that's because I went out into the world when I was 12, just like Christ was 12. I moved to Alabama, and I moved all around. I've been all around. And I didn't really have, my father was an alcoholic, and me and Peggy didn't have a close connection. So it's kind of like I was on my own. I learned from lots of different people throughout life.
You went to Missouri, too, for a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in Missouri for 3 or 4 months, and Colorado for, 8 months or something, 8, 9 months. So yeah, I got the internal perspective, and then also the external perspective. And so that's what helps me to connect everybody, and bring people together. Of course, I used to think it was going to happen, like really quick, all of a sudden. But then I died. Because of that, I went around speaking the truth and being just blunt about everything with everybody, and it fucking destroyed me like it did Christ. And now I'm slowly coming back to life. So just like the Bible, Christ went and spoke his word and everything, but then they crucified him. But then it come back in the form of a book. It comes back differently. I don't know. I'm kind of slowly bringing myself back out now. I didn't have to physically die because Christ done that for us. But I did have to spiritually die in order to understand all of it.
I had a crazy out-of-body experience when I was 12.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I was in the hospital for like a month and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
My appendix up and all that.
So I thought about that a lot.
When they took me to UVA, and I did my last surgery, they cut me up in the same place. So like my nerves were halfway healed, they said. So when they like recut them, the pain was like way worse than it should have been because they were like baby nerves.
Yeah.
And so like nothing they were giving me like could numb the pain, like nothing. So they ended up like actually overdosing. They had Narcan me.
Yeah.
Because like all my vitals went flat. But I didn't think that like I was like aware of everything going on, but like I didn't. So it just like happened. Like I thought I fell asleep, but I didn't. And I woke up, and it was like I vividly remember. Like I've told Mom like things that were there, and she was like, "How would you know that?" Because they were like doing jaw thrusts to me and stuff, and I like did not feel it all. Apparently that will wake you up. Like it hurts. And I remember it's black on both sides, and it's like a tunnel. And I'll explain it as like at the end of the tunnel was like a static TV. And I remember that like more than anything, literally. It was like, and it was crazy, but it was like I was over myself. Like I was so aware what was going on. I felt nothing though, like literally nothing. I didn't feel no pain, like in that moment. Felt no pain. I don't even remember like coming back to. Don't remember that one bit.
Yeah.
Like that was the last thing I remember was pretty much dark tunnel. Like I knew it was in my room. Like I felt my bed was like in the corner of the room. And
dude, you got me cheesing over
like
there.
it's the craziest thing ever. And like the TV, I remember. Mom's like there was because they ended up having to come in and like I guess they did something to my stomach. Like they went in and actually numbed the nerves.
Yeah.
And like they were watching it on a TV, and like I was like remembered that TV. Like, but I was like out. I was completely out. Like felt nothing. It was. And that the main thing to me is like I don't remember coming back. It's like my thing. Like I remember like coming back, I guess, to consciousness.
Yep.
But like I was reading this thing to other people.
That's
people who else had the same thing.
Coming back in.
Like I felt it again. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah. That's fucking wild, dude. That's awesome.
It was.
I got like somebody. You ever get to like somebody says something to you and you get chills?
Yeah.
I don't really call it chills anymore. I get vibrations. It vibrates certain parts of me. I got that shit, dude. But every time that happens, there's a lesson. There's something important that to me, that is like my internal cellular structure vibrating and going through a change. There's something I needed to hear that kind of helps me out in my process. I've noticed that a lot. Sometimes it's my whole body. Sometimes it's just parts of my body. But
I've been big on like a lot of things like we take every day, like that gland. What is it? Your pineal gland?
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things.
Third eye.
A lot of things block that. Like some deodorants, some toothpaste, like things like why?
Yep.
Like why don't I'm not saying it's intentional, but
I think there's a higher intelligence. I think it's partly intentional and partly not. There's a natural oppressor in life, and it needs to be there for this world and this existence, this life that we know here, because it's like a tree growing in the woods, man. It's not good if the tree just grows up really quick. If it grows up quick, it doesn't develop any strength. It won't develop a good solid root system and strength. It won't be able to handle harsh weather.
It'll be brittle.
So you have other trees around it that cast shade, and it has to fight and find its way up through the sunlight and stuff. But in doing that builds strength. It builds character. That's what's wrong with a lot of our damn country.
Yeah.
These kids and shit have never had any. You got these parents that just are overly protective on their kids. They don't want anything hurting their kids or holding them back, and so they just encourage as much growth as possible without any resistance. That's not good.
And then when they're going,
you need resistance.
Yeah. Like Jordan Peterson was talking about how you need to watch them from a distance and like let them figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe you have to teach, but once you've taught, once you've said what you say, you back off and let them learn on their own.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna go let them like get killed, but
yeah.
they gotta get hurt.
Yeah, that's your job as a parent, to observe and protect and provide a healthy environment.
Yeah,
oh shit, I should have went there.
You know not to play with fire, touch fire. I mean, I did. I got burned.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
I still play with fire.
I mean, I do too. I mean, I know my limits.
But you learn to handle it properly, safely. Yeah.
I still play fire all the time.
So
it's okay. What do you think about like the Bible talks about how this world is Satan's world. Now this world is his.
That's the worldly aspect of things. Literally, your physical body and physical material.
And I 100% believe that, because like when he offered it to Jesus, Jesus didn't argue with him. Jesus Jesus wasn't like, it's not yours to give. Like, he knew it was his to give, and he just turned it down.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I'm big on, like, I do 110% without a doubt in my mind, it is good versus evil. Like,
well,
I think that I don't.
But here's you look at Revelations. It says all things are here for our pleasure.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of. It also says that Christ will inherit riches and wealth in the worldly kingdom.
Yeah.
So he had to turn it down at the time to maintain control of himself in order to ultimately gain control of the whole world. He did. Look what Christ did. The Bible, Christianity and shit. So he rules the world. He inherited all of it because he had the self-control to abstain from it and to do it properly, I guess. So drugs are kind of, I think all worldly pleasures are the same way. Let me pull them down here again. In order to be able to indulge in them, to use them in an appropriate manner, you have to have self-control. You have to be able to say no to it. If you can't say no, then it has control of you.
Yeah.
So that's what I think that means as far as the world being evil. If you let the world have control of you, you'll never have control of yourself. You'll never, your body will control your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind won't have control of your body if you give in to what your, addictions and shit. Sex is a physical
I think that's one of the main
pleasure.
The world is sexualized now.
It is. That's one of the big things we're going through, and that's probably why the God Baal and everything is coming up. Because we're going to have to go through that and learn how. See, we've been learning how to have sex all throughout history, but we failed. How many times have we failed? So it's not that sex is wrong; it's that we keep doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So we're coming to a point now where you had to go through birth control and everything.
It's cool now to be a whore,
but we're getting away from that. Well, we're coming into a point where sex is becoming an innocent thing, and it's actually going to be okay. So think about Adam and Eve in the beginning of the Bible. They were naked.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They weren't ashamed or nothing. It was completely innocent. Their bodies were as God made them. And it was innocence. We're coming back around now finally to a period in life where we're gaining that innocence back. You women are fighting for their right to walk around without their shirts. I just shared a post on Facebook the other day about this. They want to be able to walk around without their shirts. Well, think about the kids running around playing. Boys and girls, they don't have shirts on.
Nope.
So why the hell can't they? If you're mature and have self-control, control yourself, you ought to be able to look at a naked woman there without having a perverted mind. It says in Revelations at the end that all perversion, by defeating evil and everything, you will remove perversion from yourself. I forget how it's worded exactly. But that's where most people, they see this stuff and they have perversion inside of them instead of innocence. I think there ain't nothing wrong with sex. How two people just innocently having sex? Yeah. My God, that's what makes the world go round. That's what keeps life going.
Yeah.
It's the way that we perceive it, and jealousy. Jealousy is part of the Old Testament, God. You have to get away from the jealousy aspect of things. It's all about freedom.
I was reading the other day.
Attaining spiritual freedom as well as worldly freedom and bringing them together in harmony.
For the first time in history, we're selling more
I forgot about this.
adult diapers than baby diapers. First time in history in America.
Yeah.
And who was talking about it? I believe it was Elon Musk, and he was like terrified. He's like, that is like a great way for population to collapse. He's like, First time ever, we were selling more adult diapers than we are baby diapers.
But why is that? Why?
I guess people just ain't having kids. I mean, financially, don't think they can. I don't know.
Wait, I'm confused there. Adult diapers, what does that have to do with kids?
More people are getting older than where there's, how do I want to say it? Not, more people are dying than being reborn, I guess.
Oh.
If that makes any sense.
I would think the adult diapers and baby diapers. So that would be elderly people needing adult diaper because, okay. But yeah, I was actually just talking to Papa about that the other day. But yeah, they have, what do you want to call that? Plumbing issues, you know, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. You definitely have a lot of issues with elderly, and I think a lot of that is because they've been neglected, spiritually neglected. As well as children. That's why children, so many adults have issues, because they've been spiritually neglected. We have become overly worldly, indulged in worldly pleasures for so long, we lost all sight of God.
Yeah, everyone wants like that right there.
But that is, yeah.
Like,
to me, that is a natural part of the process, though. It sucks. It's shitty. It's an ugly part.
Yeah.
But it's like there are ugly parts of life. You have to. It's just part of life.
If there wasn't, you wouldn't appreciate the good.
And it allows us to move into a new world where we can enjoy more, do more, experience more. Ultimately. Alrighty, I guess we're gonna get off here now. We're at my video there. I ain't sure. I can't turn my fucking camera around, so.
You need to buy one of them things.
Yeah, I probably could, shouldn't I? Because I like making videos riding down the road.
But you'd have to. I put one up here one time, and if it gets hot.
Yeah. Alright, I guess we're gonna get off here as a video with Bransen, Balwdwin, my cousin here, and Wildman, SpringcreekWildman.